Hey guys, how y'all doing today? My name is Franchise Fanatic and welcome back to the channel. And today for you guys, it's another Star Wars video. Today we're tackling the new Star Wars show, Ahsoka episodes 3 and 4. This is going to be a spoiler review, so if you have not seen episodes of Ahsoka, whatever, episodes 3 and 4, I do recommend you go obviously watch the show. As I said in my episode 1 and 2 review, Ahsoka really is not, it's called Ahsoka, but it really should be called Star Wars Rebels Season 5, because if you have not seen Star Wars Rebels, you need to, because you will be completely lost. Yes, the animated shows, the live-action shows, they're all the same canon. They all count. It's not like it's a different thing. They're all connected. So if you haven't seen Rebels, watch that, then watch Ahsoka. But if you have seen it, you just don't care, whatever. But I have not seen Episode 5 at the time of me recording this. I think I'm watching it tonight. So I'm excited to get into that. But yeah, I'm very excited to go through with this show and just kind of, I don't know, man, see what we got going here, because episode 4 ended off pretty freaking nuts. But again, final warning, spoilers for episodes 3 and 4. If you like this video, subscribe if you're new. I'm just so excited. And also leave a like. That really does help me out. So anyway, let's go with episode 3. So this is really where, again, last spoiler thing, this is where Sabine Wren is kind of being trained in the will of the Force, or I guess in the ways of the Force, the wills. The Force was called the wills, so you know what I'm saying. Anyway, that whole, I tried to make a joke, but I don't know if you got it. A certain amount of people got it, I don't know. But Sabine is basically trying to be trained like that, and episode 3 isn't insanely crazy. I mean, you get Baylan Skoll, I think, Ray Stevenson's character, and Shin Hati, or Hati. She is a Hati, so I know that's her last name. But Shin Hati, I'm just going to say that, and Baylan Skoll, they kind of go to this one planet. They're working with the Magistrate, a.k.a. Morgan Elsbeth. They're basically trying to build this big thing, kind of like they were doing in Andor, where, like, you know, they're kind of building a big thing. Obviously, they're building two separate things, but in this show, they're building kind of like a, I guess like a, I don't want to say portal, but like an intergalactic way to kind of get Grand Admiral Thrawn back into the fight, so that he can kind of bring a new, you know, as Baylan said, the heir to the Empire type of thing, to kind of bring forth this new regime long before the First Order is happening, at least pretty well behind that. So it's, you know, it's interesting to see that kind of, I guess, phase, and just kind of the whole idea of this, where, you know, there's the Separatists and the Empire and the First Order and then the Final Order, but seeing all the stuff in between the two things, and three things, four, it's pretty cool, you know, if you count the Final Order. It's pretty cool to have that kind of stuff in there, and it's really interesting to see characters from Rebels kind of mix into live action. We haven't seen Thrawn yet, at least in episodes 1 through 4. I know he's in the trailer, but still, we haven't seen him in the show yet, so that's interesting. So yeah, they're kind of building this big thing to get them, you know, get Thrawn, I don't know about Ezra, but get Thrawn back. And, you know, hijinks ensue where they're in space, and there's a really cool scene where Ahsoka and Sabine are kind of fighting off these I don't want to say Empire guys or Sith, because they have orange sabers. The bad guys, they're shooting the freaking bad guys, and the bad guys are going, you know, and they're shooting, and Sabine's going, you know, they're all shooting, and they're having this dogfight. It's really crazy stuff. And you see that connective, I guess, energy between Ahsoka and Sabine, where they're kind of really collaborating and putting that, you know, stuff to good use, which is really cool to see, because I haven't really seen, I mean, you know, we've seen it in Rebels, but to see that, it's like, wow, these, you know, they had their differences and all that with Sabine being trained and whatnot, but, you know, when they can work together, they really can effing work together. It's a really good thing that they're doing, which is pretty sick. Of course, Sabine, there is a little moment where she's trying to move like a cup and all that. It doesn't really work. I think they're kind of hinting at it. Now, I know a lot of people are going to get pissy on the internet saying, Sabine's not worth taking, and all that. As Ahsoka mentioned, every living thing in the entire galaxy has the Force. Technically, right? You have the Metachlorians, or you have the, you know, the Forces with everyone, that type of thing. And that is true. Even though you can't necessarily use it as strong as Rey or Anakin or Luke, you can definitely use it, maybe not by moving cups, but it's still inside of you. It's like little baby germs, you know what I mean? That's kind of how it is. So that's really cool, because even Sabine's like, I don't think I can do this, you know, this isn't me, you know, this is nuts. And she's like, nah, it's cool, don't worry about it. So we'll have to see what that happens, and if that goes anywhere, which I'm assuming it will. So that's really interesting to, you know, kind of see, because Ahsoka is, I do have an issue with this, I'll bring it up in a little bit, but Ahsoka is a good mentor toward Sabine. You know what I mean? She cares, it's like tough love, but she does care, which is, you know, pretty cool. And then we kind of have this space fight, like I said, where it leads to Ahsoka physically getting out of the craft and, like, deflecting blaster bolts with her sabers, looks cool as hell, and then of course stuff happens where, you know, they kind of touch down on this forest-like planet, and Balin of course tells them to go find them and, you know, kill them before they can find the map to Thrawn, and that's where episode 3 ends. Good episode. I think it's really fun. Of course, again, it's Star Wars, so it's not going to be dog water. You know, they're not going to intentionally make something shitty. They're going to make it well made, obviously. And this was well made. You know, if I do have one critique, it's that I do think that I finally figured out why Ahsoka isn't really my favorite Ahsoka. Not only because it's not Ashley voicing, right? The voice is off. She just looks like Rosario Dawson in freaking makeup, which I know you can't help that, but you know, it doesn't help. Which I don't mind Rosario. I think she's a liberal, which I don't know, depending on, I don't know. But joking aside, you know, I haven't really seen her in live. I think she's Lawan in Dying Light 2. She's Barbara Gordon in the Lego Batman movie. That's all I really know her in. But she's good in this. You know, she's a good actor. She was in Haunted Mansion 2. She's a good actor. It's just, you know, every time she talks, I don't hear Ahsoka. I hear Rosario Dawson, which isn't bad. Just something to kind of take note of. But I finally figured out why Ahsoka isn't really what I remember. Now, to draw this again to the sequels very quickly, Luke in The Last Jedi, he is different than the originals, but he's also the same in the originals. And that's a good thing. That is totally... Luke in the sequels is totally in character, because Luke in the originals always gets bitchy. He always throws up. I mean, maybe he did. I don't know. I would have done that. He throws a fit. Maybe he threw up, I don't know. Deleted scene. He throws a fit, he quits, you know, the internet seems to think Luke is this happy-go-lucky Boy Scout. He's skipping and jumping and there's rainbows, you know what I mean? He's not like that. He is a positive person, but he's a tempted human. He is a human. So to see Luke go through that in the sequels and then, of course, change in the end for the better, that's in character. Ahsoka in this, I get it. She's older, she's wiser, she's more grizzled, she's been through shit, but at the same time, when you first meet Ahsoka in the Clone Wars movie, obviously she's like 14, but you know, she's cracking jokes, she's smiling, she's optimistic. You see her in Rebels, she's a little more mature, but she's still that same Ahsoka. This show, she smiles like twice, but 90% of what she's doing, she's either mad, fighting someone, or crossing her arms like this. I know it's a meme online, but it's true. All she does is cross her arms like this. And she's doing it like freaking 24/7. She's like, she's walking, she's fighting with like this, you know what I mean? I mean, obviously I'm joking, but there's a lot of that in there where, you know, I feel like all she's doing is crossing her arms, which is kind of wonky. And yeah, that's not really... It's almost like Dave Filoni and all these guys, you know, Lucasfilm and all, they wanted to make her feel more mature and edgy, but they kind of lost what Ahsoka was. She is that, but she's also a fun, lighthearted, normal person who's not just like this and sour, and she has no expression. Ahsoka just kind of stands there like that's all she does, you know what I mean? She just stands there half the time and just looks, you know, it's really weird. Luke, again, changing and being slightly different, even though he's not different. People just thought he's different because they don't understand film. That's another video for another time, which I've already talked about, but hell, I'll do it again. Luke in that is good. Ahsoka in this, I don't want to say it's character bad, or like, oh, she's out of character, because she's not. It just is a bit weird to see Ahsoka not doing that. And I know she's not going to be smiling and cracking jokes 24/7, because that's not the character either, but I feel like she's doing too much of the crossing arm, blank stare, seriousness type of thing. I mean, I'm only on episode 3 and 4. I got 5 through 8 to go, but I have a hunch that's not really going to change. Moving on to episode 4, this is where shit really goes down, hits the metaphorical fan. Is crazy stuff. So we see this kind of fight on the planet where, of course, Ahsoka is fighting Merrick, or like the guy, the Inquisitor-looking dude with the twirly lightsaber, the red one. You know what I mean? And then, of course, Sabine is fighting Shin, kicking the shin out of her. Might I add, the shin? I said shin. And with that, maybe she does kick her in the shins. I don't know. She's a hottie, and she got kicked in the shins. I'm assuming. That's why they named her that. But in this, you have these really fun action scenes where they're fighting in the forest and they're twirling and, you know, all this stuff. And it's you know, it's well choreographed. It's a good fight. You know, everything Star Wars has essentially been well choreographed since, I don't know, 2002 with Attack of the Clones, where they're like roping the cattle, you know what I mean, in the dark. That was horrendous. Total garbage. This is, again, like everything basically after that movie, good choreography. And it's good, you know, it's fun, it's action-packed, and we finally see Merrick get killed. I remember, oh my god, man, Twitter, or X, whatever the hell it's called, Twitter was going nuts. They're like, Merrick is Starkiller, Merrick is Jar Jar Binks, Merrick is Snoke, Merrick is your mom! You know what I mean? It was like Snoke all over again, I swear to God. These stupid people on Twitter. If you had a theory, I'm not calling you stupid, but there's a few idiots on Twitter. more than a few, I'd say. And, you know, Merrick just, you know, he just gets cut open and green booger mist just shoots out and he dies. I'm assuming he was like a witch or someone from Dathomir, I'm assuming, like Morgan Elsbeth. Even though she's not dead, still. He wasn't human, I'll tell you that much. But he's effing gone, he's dead. And then, of course, that kind of off-balances Shin. And, you know, kind of, Sabine kind of gets the one-up on her, and she just kind of throws a Batman smoke pellet down or whatever, and just kind of poofs out of there. And then, you know, really the bulk of the episode is just this fight in the forest between the, some kind of Asian name, I don't know, like Haito or something like that. You know, the droid. That's been around for 25,000 years or what have you. He gets attacked by other droids. And all that happens. And the end of the episode is really, again, spoiler warning, the episode really kicks off. So this is what happens where you see Ahsoka kind of fight Baylan, and they're trying to kind of fight over the map. Really good fight, really good monologue, really good stuff there. And then, you know, Baylan kind of gets the jump on her and kind of bitch slaps her off a cliff. Actually what happens, and she falls off the cliff. I don't know if she's dead or not, but she wakes up in this area of being, right? If you've seen Star Wars Rebels, you'll know that this place is called, what I'm assuming, I haven't seen episode 5 yet, but I'm watching it tonight. It's called the World Between Worlds, and that is essentially Star Wars' time travel. Now, when I hear time travel, I think of, oh, Back to the Future, Avengers Endgame, you know, and shit like that. That's not what this is. This is not... You know, unlike the fake fans and the haters and the people with 0 brain cells on Twitter that say, well, just go to the World Between Worlds and pretend the sequels didn't happen, you know what I mean, or all that dumb crap. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. The World Between Worlds is not something where you can go like, oh, let's just, I don't know, go over here and, I don't know, kill Finn, or, you know, kill Janna, or kill, I don't know, kill Darth Vader before he fights Obi-Wan or whatever. You know, I mean, you can't do that, you know, because if you do that, you'll F everything up. And that's shown in the Rebels show, where Ezra kind of rescues Ahsoka, and you know what I'm talking about. And that's literally explained in the show as to why you shouldn't mess with this stuff. It's not something, it's not a crux where the writers are like, just time travel it, you know, I mean, that's not, it's not some kind of lazy thing. It's built into the canon, it's built into the world really well. I'm assuming that's where Ahsoka ends up. Because she wakes up and she's kind of looking again that blank stare. A little better this time. She's kind of like, where the fudge am I? And then you hear, of course, Hayden Christensen, Anakin Skywalker go, hello, Snips. And when I heard hello, maybe it should have been hey, Snips. All right, kind of, I don't know, too formal. But he says hello, Snips. And my 24-year-old heart kind of jumped 15 beats, and it was fun. But with that being said, this moment, it's not just a fan service moment. And you know how much I love the sequels, right? The sequels are my bread and butter. That's like the thing after Ninjago and Oxygen, right? But at the same time, this is a big-ass moment for me because, again, 2008 was the Clone Wars movie where the first time in canon we saw Ahsoka Tano. That's where she got introduced for the first time. And I saw that movie in theaters with my parents, and it was effing great. And I still love it. It's still a fantastic movie. I don't understand why people don't like it. I don't get it. But that was the first time we saw that. And now in this show, we're finally seeing live-action Ahsoka meet with live-action Anakin. And he's got the Clone Wars, like, Season 7 looking hairdo. He's a little younger. I think, you know, when he was in Obi-Wan Kenobi, that show, he kind of looked a little bit older. And they didn't really do a whole lot to make him look younger. And that got kind of shat on by the internet. And now with this one, they're like, all right, let's de-age him. And, of course, that got shat on by the internet. But what are you going to do? I think it looks pretty damn good. I mean, you know, what are you going to do? It's like he's in the shot for like 8 seconds, maybe even less than 8 seconds. It looks fine. You know, it is a bit ropey at times. You know, it clearly is not perfect because, again, our human eyes are trained off of millions of years of seeing other humans. We know subconsciously what a human looks like. And when it's just a little micro tad bit off, you can instantly recognize it. You know what I mean? Maybe the pores were too whatever, or the effing skin was too light, or it was too silky texture, whatever. You know what I mean? It wasn't perfect, but it's good enough for the job, and it didn't bother me at all. So he says, hello, Snips, and then he says something like, long time no see. She says Anakin or Master or whatever, and then you just kind of see this close up of Anakin smiling, and it's just a wholesome moment. I don't know if he's gonna turn up and try to like beat the crap out of her. And if you have seen Episode 5, because it is out, don't spoil it in the comments, because I will hate you forever. And I'm literally watching it tonight at the time of recording this, so please, for the love of God, don't ruin it. But not for me, for everyone too. But just seeing that, like it connected something. Like obviously, I hate the people, the Star Wars fans that are like, oh, the animated stuff doesn't count. Like that's either for kids, it's stupid, it doesn't matter. That's two different things. No, objectively incorrect. I don't even care what you say, you're wrong. Star Wars animated is the same thing as live action. They both count, they both matter, they both count and matter, I guess. Say that again. To reiterate, they do. It's not like some separate thing where, oh, that's the Star Wars stuff for the toddlers, and the movies, the live-action ones are for the grown-ups. No, they're all for the grown-ups. They're all for the teens. They're not kid shows, and they do matter. So it's really cool to see. You know, I wasn't freaking out because, oh my god, they're in live-action. I was just freaking out because it was Hayden Christensen Anakin with an Ahsoka. You know what I mean? It's not Ashley Eckstein and Hayden, or, you know, it's not Matt Latner and you know, Rosario. It's movie Anakin and now, you know, live-action Ahsoka, which is cool. You know what I mean? I think it's a really, really cool way to end that thing off. Really good cliffhanger, and I'm excited to see what happens in Episode 5, which apparently is, like, being screened in movie theaters or something. I'm not seeing it in movies. I got too much crap to do, but I am watching it on Disney+. I will, if you want me to review Episode 5 before 6, tell me in the comments and I'll do that. I was gonna wait and do, obviously, like I did for this and this video, or the last video and this video, 2 episodes per video. So the next one would be 5 and 6. If you want me to cover 5 though, and you don't want to wait for 5 and 6, tell me in the comments and I will cover 5 next. But yeah, man, 3 and 4. If I were to rate 3 from a 0 to 10. I'd probably give it like an 8.5 or a 9. I mean, there's really nothing wrong with it. I mean, Ahsoka's just kind of boring, but that's about it. You know, and then for Episode 4, really great stuff. Honestly, the Hayden Christensen CGI de-aging doesn't even effing bother me for an instant. I'm going to give that one a 10. Fantastic episode all the way through, and I cannot wait to watch Episode 5. Again, if you want me to review that before 6 and just kind of do a 5 and then a 6, 7, or whatever, tell me down below and I'll do that. Again, make sure not to spoil it for anyone in the comments, because some people do look at the comments before watching the video. I don't know why, but they do that, especially for like a thing you want to watch. But again, I highly recommend this show, Ahsoka, aka or slash Star Wars Rebels Season 5. Cannot wait to dive back into episodes 5 through 8. Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next video.